see 10 o'clock, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. And welcome everyone today that's here, all of our visitors. Thank you for your attendance. We appreciate you coming and being here. And all board members, hopefully everybody made it through the snow and ice and little winter storm that we had, and we're moving in a good direction. We'll move to item agenda number 2, which is invocation. And Mr. Jack, would you lead us in that invocation?
It's my honor.
Absolutely.
Father God, we come to you this morning, and we invite you to join us in directing our activities and our train of thought, and taking up the matters before us this morning. Help us to work collaboratively, cooperatively, one with the other, in representing our individual cities and the district itself collectively. Father, we honor you, glorify you, do this in your name. Father, help us to practice that throughout our lives with the people that we come in contact with. Father, thank you for loving us. Draw us nearer to you. In your Son's name we ask. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Jack. Y'all will turn and face the U.S. flag. I will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, we're at item agenda number 3, which is public comment, and I have one form here. Miss Stacy Terry, and it's a non-agenda item, so it's your opportunity to speak to us.
I'm Stacey. I'm a citizen of one of the 7 member cities, and as someone who's been here before, so you might recognize me, I want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you to the directors, thank you to the employees of the district, and to the professionals who work every day to manage a complex system that affects all of us. Your work matters, and you deserve recognition. A year ago, many of us came into this room. It was packed, stayed in room only, fearful and emotional. There was uncertainty, frustration, and a real concern about the future of our lakes and our communities. Over the past year, we've learned a great deal, and I believe we've also grown. I've seen progress in communication, awareness, and a shared willingness to move forward with a positive change. We're not always going to see eye to eye, and that's okay. What matters is that we're showing up and we're having the conversations. I also want to acknowledge something honestly and respectfully. Some individuals that fueled early fear was skewed to serve specific interests, not truly focusing on the health of the entire system. Some of us have taken the time to review the data ourselves, and we are well aware of what it shows because facts matter. Lake of the Pines doesn't thrive because of one group. It takes all moving parts working together: the water district, the Corps, the member cities, and the citizens who live and work here. When all of us do our part and act like good stewards, the lake stays healthy, our community stays strong, and the whole region wins. We know that we have water, and we're not the only ones that know this. The real responsibility is how we use it, ensuring that it supports long-term longevity within our region. Our census numbers are declining. Responsible water management is not just about supply, it's about sustaining communities, economies, and the quality of life. Today, 1 year later, I feel hopeful. I'm encouraged by the progress, grateful for the work being done, and committed to continuing this dialogue in a constructive way. Thank you for your time and happy anniversary. And also, too, for some of us average minds, can you please, whenever you talk about I believe, item number 9, the water master, please give us a little bit more information on that so that, but besides that, thank you.
Thank you very much for those comments. Appreciate it. And we will definitely elaborate on number 9 for you today. It was kind of, I'm board president, and when I read it in board book, I had to go Google and do some things myself to get me, myself into the mindset of, what exactly is that. So, thank you again for your comments, we appreciate it, and, I think we have come a long way since the time you were referring to, and, I'm excited about the future as far as, water and Lake of the Pines is concerned. I think there's, opportunities there for our water district to grow and our member cities to grow, so, thank you again. Item number 4, agenda item number 4, consideration action on minutes from December 29, 2025 meeting. You board members take a look at those minutes, and if you see any additions, subtractions, or corrections that we need to make, we'll honor that at this time, and when someone feels comfortable, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from
Second.
December 29th meeting.
Got a motion by Robin, second by Jack to approve the minutes as presented from December 29, 2025. All those supporting that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it, motion carries, and minutes are officially approved. We will move to item number 5. Presentation of 24-25 audit. This includes consideration action on the approval and acceptance of the audit. I think we have someone here to present that to us, and you have the floor, sir.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Andrew Arnold from Arnold Walker Arnold and Company, and we've enjoyed working with Ositas and Era, and they, and Dominic, like you said, everybody in the office is, I wish I had an office like this, but, anyway, it's what we would call a clean audit. There were no findings. Everything is being taken care of as well as it can be. It's,
Good to hear.
no findings. So I'm gonna be on page 11 of the little black bound book. If you wanna turn there. And if I were on the board, I would be interested in where we are at the end of this year compared to last. It's on the far right-hand side, 24 alongside 25. The 25 column, next to last row, is where we began the year, $25.08 million in net position. The bottom line with the double underscore is where we're at this year, 28.098, so that's an increase of just over $3 million. Reasons for that, of course, the revenue was up due to the water rates being up. Our expenses, about midway down the page, you'll see total operating expenses were very similar to the prior year. Expenses were up about $87,000, not much to speak of. The reason for some of those expenses being down, our contracting costs were considerably less, debt, several things there. And so we had a good year the previous year, really good year this year. Last couple of years been good. Got some projects coming up, so as you budget for those, we'll probably get into some of those excess funds, but that's about all I have to say. If you're going through this and want to get a hold of us, Ositas knows how to get a hold of us. We're easy to catch at the office. We appreciate you letting us do the work for you. We enjoy working with them. And that's all I have.
Very good.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Osiris, anything to add to it? I mean, clean audit is always good.
I tell you, it's, we make we didn't make any adjustments, I don't believe, between the three funds.
Right.
She always looks and goes, what can I adjust before they get here? And that lets us really look at, we're not doing bookkeeping, we're actually auditing, and that's what you want.
As 20 years as school superintendent, I always loved when they said clean audit. That was, those were ringing to my ears as in good, good, good.
And no journal entries is a rare thing. That's uncommon.
Yeah, yeah. And my ears also heard you say that the 3 people that are involved with our finances at the district are excellent at their job.
Top notch.
Yeah, good deal, good deal. Board, anybody see anything, any questions?
I move to accept the audit.
Second.
I got a motion by Pat, a second by George to accept the audit as presented. All those supporting that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. Audit is accepted as presented. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, thank you.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, item number 6. Consideration action on monthly investment report, financial reports of all current accounts and funds, authorization to pay invoices for professional service, and authorization for conference sponsorships. Ms. Osiris, yeah?
The investment report just reflects regular operations, nothing major was moved. Professional invoices, we received 3 that are in your packet. The Sledge Law for legal invoices for services through December. The audit for the fiscal year 2025, and then USGS gauging stations, which y'all approved the contract in June. This is just the payment for it. And we would like to pay it annually instead of quarterly because we get reimbursement. We have to send proof of payment to Marshall and SWEPCO so that they can reimburse us their portion. That's why we like to pay it annually versus quarterly.
Okay.
It was reconciliation for the first quarter. Southside took about 6% more water than we anticipated. So Harleton has repaired the line, but they're still having SCADA issues. So while they are taking water, they're not taking as much as they have been. But it, talking to them, they said that once they get the SCADA issue fixed, they'll go back to taking about the same that they used to take. You saw the quarter of the year payment reflected in these financials. And then we also had, in our capital, we had the $13,000 emergency bypass hookup to the raw water main. Y'all saw those pictures in the last presentation. This is just a payment for that. And then also a payment for $14,750 for the ongoing Avenger tank restoration. And on March 1st, we'll have bond payments due. This is just our interest only. So y'all might have seen in Southside's portion what they have to pay for their portion of it. That's all I have on the financial side of it. I don't know if y'all want to vote and then go into the sponsorship, or if y'all want to go ahead and talk about the sponsorship.
Well, let's see if we have any questions on the financials. We'll kind of go that direction. Anybody see anything? Need to get elaboration on something? Questions, concerns? We all good? Okay. Well, let's do them separate, and we will do, I'll entertain a motion for the, approve the finances. Got a motion by Dennis. I got a second by Laura. All those supporting motions approve the monthly financial reports, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. Finance report is approved. Now let's go with the conference sponsorships.
So last year, instead of, there's 3 TWA meetings a year, and instead of every one, last year we just did like a 500 per, a one-time vote, 500 every meeting, or every conference. I don't know if y'all want to continue that, or if you don't, what is it that y'all would like to do?
So 3 meetings a year, and the proposal is to do 500 for each meeting, which would be a total of 1,500 for the year.
Right,
Okay.
and that would be the bronze
Okay,
packet.
bronze
And
sponsorship.
that's what we did last year.
That's what we did last year.
Okay.
And
And
that's
that's
a motion we continue to do that.
okay, that's for TWA.
Yes.
All right, I have a motion to approve the bronze package for the 3 meetings during the year, total of $1,500 for the district by Jack. I got a second by Dennis. All those supporting the motion to approve the bronze sponsorship, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Motion carries, and we are approved. Good deal. let's move on to item number 7.
Let's hang on a second here.
Let's hang on a second.
Yeah, to do this right, we approved the finances, that didn't include invoices, so I'll make a motion that we approve paying these invoices.
Okay. All right, we'll do it. We can do
I'll
that.
second.
Okay, got a motion by Pat, second by Robin to approve the,
I got a real quick question. It
Come
says
on.
that the 4 invoices that are in the board packet, those are the only ones, nothing's come in since the board
No.
packet was put
No,
together.
so those are the only ones.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
okay, got you. Motion by Pat, second by Robin to approve the invoices as presented. All those supporting that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. Invoices are approved along with the finance report. Okay, item 7, consideration action on health, dental, vision, and disability insurance.
So, every time that we budget, I always do a 15% possible increase. It came in at 13%, so it was less than budgeted. But depending on how, since we're level funded so we have employee only, we have 6 employees that are in employee only. We have 2 that are employee spouse, 3 employee children, and 2 employee family. Within them, some went up higher than others, so in order to kind of compensate for that, I thought we would increase the payroll deductions on the employee side, and that would cover about half of the increase, and then the district would cover the other half. Even though if the district decided to cover 100%, it's still under budget. But because of those inner category differences,
Okay.
What are the deductions?
it should be this little sheet. You'll go to that agenda item 7.
Mm-hmm.
So the current is in that little yellow sheet. There.
Yes.
So the current for employee only, it's $59.62. Employee spouse, $121.70. Employee children, $110.42, and employee family, $178.12. That's current. If you look to the right side, that's what they would change to.
So your the proposal is what you've included with the additional payroll reduction?
Yes.
I move we accept the renewal proposal.
Okay. Second. Got a motion by Pat, second by George to accept the proposal for employee health, dental, vision, and disability insurance. All those in favor of that, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. Consider it approved. Item number 8, consideration action on water storage agreement and limited Monticello Winfield South Mine. Okay.
Y'all have time to review the, I was really, if you read a bullet number 6A, that will be something that I think was very positive in this agreement for future reference, where it states in the event sufficient water is not available to allow for the storage of approximately 6,810 acre feet of water, basically, you know, we can not have to pay. So that's gonna be interesting, because we had trouble even taking water samples because the water was so low. But, I don't know if you have any questions.
I don't, I mean, I like these outs, and I'd like to get out of this agreement as quickly as possible.
I like the fact that we're paying $100,000 and they're paying $871,000.
Yes.
That sounded good in my ears. Yeah.
How long does that last though for?
This one is a 50-year.
Okay.
The 871 is only good for until
That one, 2030, in 4
2030,
years.
right?
Yes, yes. But the thing is, in order for them to keep paying, we went into the development agreement, and of course, this was part of it, so we're we have,
So,
you know,
so when Sledge and them designed this agreement, did they include the possibility of extending the other agreement?
no. And this was all I think this was all when Walt was here, so, no.
Oh, yeah.
But like I said, 6A looks like a good possibility
To not have to pay.
or to get out of it.
Is the other agreement that runs out, has it got a possible extension on it?
I think so, but I don't think that they're interested.
So
You know,
why would
Lumen's
they
trying to
be?
sell.
Oh, I know, but they may be interested, so I just wanna know if that extension possibility is
There
there.
is-
If
it
it's
is-
not, I wanna address it in this.
It should, don't know, let me make sure, but I'm pretty sure it does because we've
Before
had.
we approve this, I wanna know that for sure.
Lumen? Yeah.
I'll go look.
Is that with
Well,
the,
we can come back to this. I mean,
Okay.
We can go on through, we can come back to this. If they don't have an extension in the other agreement, then we wanna get the possibility of an extension incorporated into this.
Well, the problem is, whether it does or doesn't, if we don't execute these,
I understand.
it's my understanding from legal team that they can sue us.
There always was possibility
So-
for them to extend.
Because I
on the
I
other.
asked, I'm like, well, what if we decide not to do it? Because you signed the developmental agreement
Right.
that was in there, they can sue us if we don't approve this.
I understand.
It's my understanding of
This
it.
is the
What-
first time we've seen this, the first time we've seen this.
What deadline, what kind of a time frame did they say?
They had December, but we couldn't get the water quality samples done to make sure that everything's safe, so then it moved to January, and then had the winter storm, so now we're in February.
Yeah, all the work was done by Lumina to prepare this pit for this completion. All those negotiations were done, with Walt as the general manager. So this is really a formality at this point, and just staying with our word, what we committed ourselves to. The two contracts are, but with the same company, but they are not related one to another.
Right.
different departments?
Yes, so I believe the best course of action is to consider approval of this today.
And the one we're considering approval runs out in 2030, is
Yeah.
that correct?
No, this one
No,
runs.
H seven one.
This is
That's
just
all.
a year one.
Okay.
Their contract runs out in 2030.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure that it can extend, but regardless if it can or if it can't, if we don't approve this
Right.
and don't pay basically, then my understanding is we can get sued for
For mutually exclusive issues.
I'm not frightened of being sued.
it. Right.
You could always pay and not sign the agreement. You could
Yeah,
send them
you
the
still
money
pay,
and not, I mean, is it the money they're worried about, or is it some immediacy of the contract?
They're worried about signing this agreement.
Yeah.
I don't think they're worried about the money, even though they do want it, because.
Well, we are not blocking them from asking us to extend the other contract,
Right.
even if it's not worded. I mean, adding to this contract that they can extend, it's almost not an issue. We're not blocking them from coming to talk to us to possibly extend it. So even if it's not in writing, they know that if they want it, they will reach out to us and they will extend it. So this is kind of not needed action in my belief, because it doesn't block any action of ever happening. So signing this does not block them from asking us for extending contract by all means.
No, but if it runs out,
Mhm.
it's over with.
Then water is ours, so.
Right, but I have the opportunity in this agreement to tie that agreement for an extension.
But
Or a mandatory extension or just a
Well,
No,
voluntary?
make them come to the table and sit down and talk with us.
okay, well, I mean, they can do it anyway, without, I mean, I believe it's just not.
Well, I think,
I need a basic tutorial here. We've got these two ponds and we store water in them. And we pay Luminant $100,000.
not yet, you gotta
Not
prove it today,
yet.
yes.
But
So,
do we have these ponds now? We've been doing this? No.
okay, so they were paying us $870,000, and it increases, it wasn't always that amount. We were using that money, that's the main money that we subsidize our member cities. That's a big portion of why our rates have been so low. They went bankrupt, they were also paying Titus County. We're paying them more. They go bankrupt and they stop paying Titus County. But they didn't stop paying us. Why? Well, during that time, and this is 2 general managers ago, during that time, we were able to, they had to pay a lot to remediate the pits, to go back into their original form. So we kind of said, well, we could use that to store water. So we kind of did a developmental agreement where they would develop those pits, we would store water, and then when they were developed, we would move to stage 2. But in that agreement, it already said, once it's developed, you're gonna sign a water storage agreement, and the cost's gonna be X. So we've
Okay.
gotten to phase 2 now. So that was approved by the board, and they started developing. They spent money developing these ponds for us to use. So now they're in use. I mean, now they're able to be used. So now we're in step 2 where, okay, it's time to sign the water storage agreement.
And
So
we,
that's where we're at now.
we kind of agreed to that on the
In the-
condition that they got the ponds
Yes.
so they could be used for water storage.
Yes.
So they currently finished all the mitigation of the land, they finished preparing it, and it's currently naturally filling with water.
Now, wouldn't they, by law, have to do that remediation anyway?
Yes.
Yes,
They
they would have
would.
had
Not,
to.
but
They
not,
would-
not concerning this water pit.
No.
Okay.
So
It filled it in or something.
let's break it
Okay.
into this so you completely understand. You got a pond, you call 2 ponds. We got 1 pond and we got 1 lake, Lake Bob Sandlin.
Yeah.
They're paying us to store their water in Bob Sandlin. That pond, we invested in, or will invest in, so that if we get in a drought, we can take water out of that pond and run it down the creek for the environment.
Right,
That's really all that pond is for. But
okay.
it's not gonna store enough water for
No,
us to
it
do
didn't look like
anything
very
with.
much.
So they were gonna have to fill it up and remediate. That was gonna cost billions. So
Uh-huh.
instead, this option was less expensive for them. And so we believe it was an incentive for them to keep paying us and not.
Okay, and so in 4 years, what they're paying us, they can stop.
Yeah, the contract would end at that time, yes.
Okay, and what you're wanting is to make an extension in with this one so it doesn't end in 2030.
Not necessarily make an extension, but bring them to the table to discuss the extension of the original agreement.
Okay,
If we don't have an extension, another 5 year, those are usually 5-year terms. If there's not another 5-year extension in that agreement.
okay.
Why would they want to extend it? Is there something gonna start happening over there? Is that what you think, or something? You think maybe something's gonna
Yes, I
start
believe that
happening?
they would want to extend it.
They would not want to extend it, I wouldn't think.
Well,
If
the
there's
land is
something
for
gonna
sale
start-
right now, that
The
whole
what?
thing is
Yeah, all
for
the
sale.
land's for sale.
Yeah.
The reason they had continued to pay us when they paid nobody else is because of what we're talking about right now.
And we
the
kind
storage
of made
agreement.
this verbal
It
commitment,
saved them millions and millions and millions of dollars of reclaiming that land, or at least this area that we're talking about, that we're gonna store water in.
We were always a little afraid that they were gonna, we weren't included in the bankruptcy thing, right? Isn't that correct?
Well, we were, but
We sued them when they went into bankruptcy to continue to pay us.
And we-
Other people did that as well, they didn't continue to pay them, they did continue to pay us,
but
because of this very issue.
2030,
Well, and perhaps
Our-
for another reason too.
our agreement was different, okay? The Northeast Texas Municipal Water District agreement was different than the one that the Titus County Freshwater District had. The Titus County Freshwater District was a, more or less a reimbursement type of agreement based upon the expenses that they had. Our agreement was a straight out payment for the storage of water. There were political issues with regards to the other one, the reason why they no longer wanted to pay Titus County Freshwater District.
Okay.
Especially when you go build a brand new office building, whenever Greg having his own office.
we could authorize this agreement, and you guys can direct us to reach out to them and, you know, make it, you know, even though they know it, but we would make it very official as this board will to present to Lumen the possibility of extension and bring them to the table this way. I just believe that changing this at the eve of signing it, where they're expecting that's gonna be done, is kind of adding a new thing at the very end of something which was already expected, so I just don't believe that there's a need for this to rewrite right now, spend extra cost. There's really no benefit for it, in my opinion.
So the terms read, the rights and obligations of the parties under this agreement shall extend until January 1st, 2004, with an option to renew and extend this agreement for an additional period of 10 years.
That's the original agreement, so it's every 10 years, so that's,
It should have,
so that allows extension of every 10 years.
can you just bring the whole thing? Well, here, I mean, if there's no, we can always ask. But I don't think that they will, just because I remember Wayne trying to get them out of us paying $100,000, and they were very offended. So,
I want to let you guys know that we are working several avenues where even us, even with this pit full, when we have to pay $100,000 a year, we are finding other uses for this or other beneficiaries of this possible pond down the stream, which can be very helpful in covering and mitigating that cost for us. So it is something which is beneficial to possible pilgrims. It's anybody who is discharging anything to the creek, phosphorus agreements. So we are working very diligently on the side that if we have to pick up that we will find a use or somebody who will help us, maybe even offset the whole thing. So this is not just something we just not wanna start paying and forget. What she mentioned, there's a clause in this agreement which might allow us to not pay certain years, and we're gonna find every single way to save money for the district with it, so.
There is a beneficial use of having this water, even in periods
Absolutely.
when we have plenty of water. And
Absolutely.
that is because of the drainage of our basin flows through Mount Pleasant's wastewater treatment operation. And that follows its way all the way down to the lake. By having this water, we can dilute that affluent water even more as it traverses through the basin on its way down to the lake. So it's not just water, which is important to have excess water during periods of drought, but even when we're very arid, using this water for other purposes is to our advantage as well, just to keep the water going down the basin cleaner, more diluted of affluent as it passes through Mount Pleasant's wastewater treatment plant.
It's definitely beneficial to us.
And if they sell it and say it's all up for sale, there's still, got a restriction on it, because they would have to still, whoever buys it would have to maintain this, right?
You're referring to the pit?
Yeah.
No, pit is out, the water in the pit is ours.
It is ours.
The pit's ours. to
No,
maintain.
it's the 815 acre watershed.
so they,
It's in number 8 here on this.
But, yeah, so it's kind of like with regular pipes. The Corps of Engineering owns the
the
vessel,
whole, so they own the whole, Luminant owns the whole, we
own
water.
anything in the water. So even if they sell it, then nobody can touch this.
Okay, so it says, the rights and obligations of the parties under this agreement with respect to the public water in and the runoff of Bundle Creek as provided in Article 1 shall extend until January 1st, 2030, with an option to Togo at that point, so Luminant, to renew and extend its portion of the agreement for an additional period of 10 years from the date upon the notice.
Okay.
It's in there.
Okay, yes,
It's
it's
in
in.
there
It's
already.
in there.
Okay, good.
Okay, cool.
Are there sufficient securities around this pond, or no way could be tainted?
So currently, the access until everything is signed and, we officially have the keys to the gates. Luminant is actively maintaining security. When we do this, we're gonna add some stuff to it. I'm thinking, it all depends on the site, but some cameras probably would be good. I even suggested we can move our office in front of the pit. It would be a nice view, so.
Well, we still have to have a pump.
Yes, the pump, yes,
Okay.
so this is the next project on our side, is how we're gonna be withdrawing it,
We might never
Yeah.
do it.
and we might never do it, so for right now, for right now, it's only half full.
Even with all.
And so we need several really wet years for this to fill up. If it's an average year, the evaporation rate equals the rain, it equals the fill of the lake. So there is a lot of stuff, you know, after all is done, where we get options, so.
Did they do a special sealing so we wouldn't be losing the water?
So the pit itself, it's a remaining hole after the massive, the mining machine was creating. It's almost a mile long. It's a massive, hole in the ground, which at its deepest spot, it counts at about 140 feet. So this is massively deep. And, so all the bottom of it, it's a rock. And then the top part with the dirt is the one which they spent probably millions of dollars preparing for this to be a right surface for the lake or large pond to hold. So to answer your question, there is a structure there to overflow, and in the past this pit was full, and it never had any indication of any leakage or problems with it.
On the samples they took surface samples, or
No,
did they go to the deeper water?
Yours truly was taking samples on the boat. I can show you. You don't see me on the boat often, but I'll show you pictures. I might look frightened, but yes, we did took it, and it was cold that day. So we and myself truly with 2 other employees, we collected samples, so I made sure where the samples were taken from. We took it from the shallow end by the island on the south side, and we took it all the way by the deepest spot on the north side. They came back almost identical. That's what I was looking at, if there's a differential based on the depth. This is with a half full, so the quality would be worse than if it's full. And I didn't see any evidence for any runoffs. There's nobody around which can, you know, by accident contaminate the pit. So short of sabotage or some third-party negligence, that should be just you know, beautiful nature addition to the region. And you know, we didn't even start thinking of additional uses. I even tossed the idea maybe we should do a deep diving school, you know, 140 feet, you know. But jokes aside, I've seen some pictures of this company retrofitting or changing the pits into the lakes, and it looks picturesque. I mean, when that all covers with green and it's done, it's just gonna look like an amazing little lake. So.
And if we ever need that water, you can see the creek that we would take it to out of the, I call it the trench instead of the pit. But it is a long trench, averaging about 90 feet deep. But you can see the creek that we would take that water to, which is not very far. We just pump it over the creek and let gravity take it from there.
With approval of this document, we're gonna start more actively just being present at the scene. I'll prepare some nice pictures for you guys and additional stuff as we progress. So.
What is the physical location of the pit? Where is it?
It's over, if you go 271 north, you know where the airport is? Take a left at that red light. Go by the dump ground.
Put it in the map.
All right, then you'll come to the next farm to market road, take a left, and then take a right on the next oil top road before you get to the railroad overpass. Follow that little county road down there, and a big S curve, the pit's over on the left-hand side. You can't see it now, they've done a very good job, he said a mediation around it.
Yeah,
But
grass
used to,
and
you could
whatever.
actually see it. Before they did all that, you could actually see the pit.
Yeah, I'll show it to you after.
They've been mining lignite out of that area for decades, and they have reclaimed thousands and thousands of acres. This is the tail end of that process, what's left, essentially, that they haven't reclaimed yet.
It's
We're
much
talking
larger
about
than
having a
you think.
beneficial use to. And by trading it like that, we get $10 for every dollar. So 10 to 1, our return on investment is a pretty good investment.
I'll make a motion to approve the authorization to pay the annual storage fee.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Robin, second by Laura, to approve the payment for the water storage agreement with Luminant Monticello Winfield South Mine. All those in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
One no vote. Okay, and the motion is approved. Item number 9. Consideration of response to PTEQ's letter regarding a water master evaluation for Cypress Creek and the Sulphur Ribbon Basin. Okay?
So I don't know if y'all had a chance to review kind of what it is, but basically it's taken control away from us. So if they see that we have the water right asset, we're not using it and other places are, then they can take that away from us. So that's why we're very against it. And then on top of that, there's a fee we gotta pay. So, and it's not cheap, it's like $300,000 a year is what they did. The last review, that's how much they came up with. So I'm assuming it probably only go up from there, nothing ever goes down as far as.
And in the last review, they didn't.
Right, the last 2 cycles, they said we didn't need one.
So we spoke with other people affected by this review, and no water right holder in our basin is supporting the need for water master. We've been managing our basin for years, for decades, responsibly. There is no need or I don't think ever will be to spend extra money and to make additional water master for our region. There's only 2, I believe, maybe 3 4 in the entire Texas. So every single basin is managed. We are one of the water masters in Cypress Basin. And so that's already here. So.
Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? What's the motivation for this?
It's just it's a,
Well, it's a routine review that they do about every 10 years, I think, they review, put the water master on river authorities and stuff. Mainly the water master only goes into effect if there's discrepancy in a basin.
They're looking if there is somebody who has a water right who is basically unfairly blocking other users or something, and there's some litigations and the problems within. We don't have that. So this was created like if some basin cannot get a loan, or somebody is taking way more than they. Let's say if we can take 200,000 acre feet a year, if we be taking 400,000, somebody can sue us and say, hey, we need the water master to stop you. Okay, so that's that is not a case for us.
well, it's just, that basically we give up our control. If we have a water master.
Sounds
Make
like
a
it's
motion
just
that we
adding
want
another layer.
Okay.
Sounds like it's just adding another layer.
Yes, it's another layer.
Okay. Okay, so let me make sure I'm understanding it. We are in opposition to the water master, so we will make a motion to be in opposition to the water master. Right.
And like I said, I've seen in
Evaluation.
the past, one cycle, it was, when it wasn't, but just to be
Right.
clear, yes.
And we already have our letter and we've sent it, or,
Yes,
okay.
the one that was in the packet is what was
Yes.
sent. Yes.
Yeah, and that letter was excellent. I read it, and it was a good response to them. And so, did we answer questions in the back about water master? I was gonna make sure. Do you have any more questions about this water master? You understand what we're,
We I mean,
sure.
we had Googled, we had done everything that you said, and we had looked into it, and that was another, it was just like another bureaucracy type thing. And that's, I wanted to make sure that was, if I wasn't reading in between the lines. And then if our district has to help pay for this, then why are we paying for another bureaucracy? It's, right, it's a no-brainer. Thank you very
You're
much.
right on.
I appreciate it.
And I just want to add that they do this to every basin.
Yes, they
didn't
do.
single us. They can
Every
go
every 4 or 5 years they review.
one after
Yes.
another.
For
Do you
yours.
want one? Do you want one?
Absolutely.
Do you
Yep.
want one? So-
Yeah. superintendent for 20 years, we had accreditation through TEA, but there was always 3 or 4 other organizations, bureaucracies that wanted to come in and make us do some kind of accreditation with them, and all of them cost money. None of them were free. We never did any of them. We did TEA's accreditation. So you're totally understanding that properly, okay? I got a motion by Dennis to oppose the Water Master evaluation. I need a second.
Second.
I got a second by George. All those in favor of the opposition to the Water Master evaluation for Cypress Creek and Sulphur River Basin signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. All right, let's move on. Item number 10, Water Production Operation Report. Mr. Dominic.
Almost there. There you go. Oh. So sorry, I failed to get my one.
Is that where we're?
I've been watching Harry Potter last 2 days, so. It's good to have you guys, first meeting of New Year, and we are as busy as always. I will start with a little information about the lake. It's incredible how much you can learn when you're getting in depth and reviewing data and looking at all the numbers and what's happening in our watershed. So I just want to start from telling you guys that that the water quality is good, and Lake of the Pines elevation as of this morning was at 228.37, which considers our lake to be 99% full. And that statement of 99% full is based on conservation pool, which is at 228.5. We kind of, the people living around the lake and the tourists coming in got used to lake being higher. I told you guys we had almost 3 years where we were above the conservation pool. So, you know, if somebody visited 2 years ago and came back now, they can say, oh, lake is low. No, actually, that's what lake is supposed to be. So we are 99% full. Currently, as of this morning, Lake of the Pines gated flow release is 265 cubic feet per second. If you convert cubic feet per second times 60 seconds times 1440 minutes, then you're gonna get cubic feet per day. Convert this to gallons, it's 171 million gallons is being released by the gate in Lake of the Pines every single day. You think that's a big number? Let's look to our neighbors to the south. So at the same time, Caddo Lake, right now as I speak to you, releases 1,627 cubic feet per second. You know how much water this is? This is over 1 billion gallons every single day leaving Caddo right now. 1 billion. So to make a little reference, in last 24 hours, Caddo Lake spilled over more water than all our treated water customers used last year. In 1 day. 1 day, what's leaving Caddo right now would last us 1 year for the district to get treated water to all our customers. That is significant number. You guys probably heard recently that there was some saying about data centers popping up around us. So just want to give you another reference. 2 days of Caddo release would cover a data center in Blanchard water demand for a year. 2 days was leaving Caddo right now. The data center would use in 1 year. So there's a lot of water leaving Caddo right now. Next thing you probably hear that the gauge is broken, or it's not true, but hope not. In 2025, Lake of the Pines gated flow totaled 608,000 acre feet. This is 2.5 Lake of the Pines leaving Lake of the Pines, never to come back to Texas, never to get utilized by the state of Texas. At the same time, the water for 2025, what left Caddo Lake was 1.9 million acre feet, which contributes to about almost 40% of all municipal water use in Texas. That is staggering amount of water leaving Caddo.
And even after all that, the lake is still full.
Yeah, the lake is still full. So on average, last 3 years, Caddo released about 2 million gallons, 2 million acre feet a year. that would last, and I'm gonna say an evil word, Dallas, but that would last Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and Austin, 6.2 million people, that amount of water would last 1.6 years, what's leaving Cadillac, all of them. So that's a lot of water. So the Corps of Engineering historical data clearly shows that since 2023, all that water left Lake of the Pines and Caddo at the same time respectively. 24% is what we contributed to those releases from Caddo. So the next time you hear that we are the main water leaving Caddo comes from Lake of the Pines, it just simply doesn't add up. So for context, like I said, 1 billion gallons a day. That is what we use in 1 year. So I'm not gonna get more deeply into this, but we have a lot of water. So, I'm still getting the hold of the list. So now let's switch to our report. What I've got for you is that our alum dosage has been between 47 and 67 milligrams per liter. In a consideration for treatment, water is good. We had a couple of problems. You guys know that we just went through a winter storm, and right before there were a couple of serious rainstorms going through our area. And some of them don't do any damage to us, and some of them do. So what you're seeing right now, it's Pittsburgh plant. We had some straight winds one time a few weeks back, and in the morning, Glenn Lawler, plant chief operator, came in and noticed some discrepancies at the top of the roof. We climbed in, got some pictures. So unfortunately, our roof at Pittsburgh plant in some areas got damaged. We instantly covered the affected areas with tarp. So we prevented a further damage. And after consulting with Osiris, I filed a claim. Unfortunately, with the age of this property, our deductible was larger than the replacement cost or repair cost. Since, believe it or not, the remaining of the roof is still good, or it's not leaking. So the cost of repair, which we did within our own means, came up at about around $10,000, and I'm going to be asking Osiris to spend it right now, so there's no further damage to it, but we could not file the claim on this, as they estimated it to be under $14,000, and that's our deductible. So.
Is that kind of a patching what was damaged?
Yes.
It's not a new roof?
Yes, so yeah, if the adjuster which came in and says the roof is still okay, and they would have to be patched up to repair and not replace. So roof replacement would be $20,000+, and we would file a claim, but they said that we could go by just by patching it up.
So the roof is a total pitch roof?
So it's actually 3 different rectangular shaped structures, and each one has a separate roof at a separate level.
So they're flat roofs?
Yes, they are flat roofs.
So they require pitch or tar. So you want to tar the whole thing?
Well, right now we're not gonna actually tower it. We got some other, there's some new options to do this, and we're gonna bid some of those jobs out and see what's the best as far as money-wise goes. So, that is actually all I got for Pittsburgh pictures. I just want to let you know, a couple months ago, I did tell you that we had a TCQ inspection for Pittsburgh plant, and I didn't want to say anything until I knew for sure, but now I can proudly tell you that it came back perfect. Means 100%, no suggestions, no violations. We are talking about a plant which is 15 years past its life expectancy, maybe more, and to get not even one suggestion what to do is pretty good. I mean, in my line of work, and you can talk to your respective cities, TCQ inspectors are feared. We welcome them. Well, then what happened is, since we are, according to them, so good, they decided to bring some trainees for the next inspection, and I'll talk about it in a second. So at Pittsburgh, we are managing as good as we can. We survived the winter storm without any problems in both places. If you remember, Storm Uri was very daunting. We got very valuable lessons. We used it this time around. It was non-eventful to us. We had a couple communication breakdowns. We did have a one pump freeze in Pittsburgh, but we cranked it up. So Pittsburgh intake is in free air. I mean, they are not in a building, so it just happens. But we have tools in place to start the plant back up, and we were able to do this, no problem. With prolonged, let's say 10+ days of freeze, we would do what we did in Storm Uri, which is running continuously and recirculating water back to the lake. So no breaks to report. I cannot even give you a dollar amount what this storm cost us. It's just normal working operation. I don't even think we incur any overtime. So very well. But I want to thank all your guys' water directors, and we did a very good job preparing for this. I personally called every single water director from each cities. We had open channels of communication, parts replacement, fuel deliveries covered between all of us. Everybody who had problem called me like they promised, so we were able to go up on the flows ahead of time, so it really worked. So that's a very positive thing, especially if you looked at during Storm Uri, cities like Houston failed in first 2 hours, and and we have small communities which are able to withhold it. So it was a good test of what we learned. Going back to Tanner Plant, we had, so we basically spent majority of last 3 weeks preparing for TCQ inspection for Tanner Plant. So as I mentioned, at the Pittsburgh plant, we were given the praises, and then the TCQ inspector called me and says, hey, would it be okay if I bring a couple trainees with me to your plant? Well, it's not something to say no to, but you also know what's going to come with it. When I was in Grapevine, I had EPA, which brought in 12 new EPA inspectors, and the deal we made with them was, if you find anything, don't fine us, let us repair it. So, but during filter wash, the mouse would come out or something, so it's always something happens. Well, we didn't have any of those problems here, and actually inspection was last Thursday. I don't have an official report from it, but I can share with you that normally those inspections for Tanner size plant take up to 3 days. Remember, we have 70 miles of transmission lines. That footprint would cover almost entire Metroplex. If you will look where our pipes reach. So I would just tell you that inspection took from 10 a.m. till 5:45 p.m. and they never came back. So anybody who had an inspection before knows that that's a good sign. So I somehow convinced them not to eat, and they worked through. So I offered them lunch at the end. They wanted to just go home. So we were able to inspect the entire Tanner plant, and it wasn't that they liked me or anything like that. Actually, with additional people checking, they really looked much more thorough than they did it last time, 3 years ago. But what helped is that I went ahead and gave them all the documents ahead of time in electronic form. So as the main inspector referred to us, and I don't like to brag, well, maybe I do sometimes. He said, we are the most transparent system in which he inspects, and this is the most perfect system to train people because you're gonna see everything. So we showed them stuff they didn't want to see. So they were able to look at things, learn from us. They are just inspectors. A lot of them never worked in a water treatment plant. And we literally have nothing to hide, and I treat TCQ as a partner who can help us get better. So in this case, we went through all the inspection. I have to literally do like 2 more things, and looks like our final report will be also 100%. So that would be spectacular if we could have both plants at ACE level at the same month that she got her at Ace level, so.
Good job.
So this is the feedback on ECQ. Our guys did a great job preparing. It always you know, puts everybody on notice, and I'm very, very proud of our employees and what we achieved, and we're gonna continue doing the good work for our member cities. We are working on several capital improvements. We are sending out requests for proposals. We are gathering quotes. And with this in mind, I would like to tell you that we were able to post out and receive the bids for 3 of our capital improvement projects. First one is part of Avenger Jefferson Pumps and Valves conversion. And in a portion A, the valve and pipe replacement, our recommendation is to award bid to SGL Utility Contractors at $132,615. In this case, we only had a 1 bid entry. This is contractor we've been working on many occasions. Nobody bid, and I'm pretty happy with the numbers. It's consistent with what we get on normal cooperation with this particular contractor. They are highly recommended, highly skilled. On the electrical side of the same project, our recommendation is to award bid to James D. White Electric at $91,800. This bid did receive additional entry at $109,128. So this one is about $17,000 less, and we would like you to consider awarding it to James D. White. And in the second project of VFD pumps replacement for our raw water pump station and conversion to pump 3 and 4 to 1 big VFD. Also, we received 2 bids. Recommendation is also to James D. White at $92,271. And the opposing bid came in at $109,900. So again, about similar difference, about $15,000-$16,000 difference. Those are all within our budgeted amounts. Nothing indicates that we would spend any more, and we are progressing and hoping to finish those in time and under budget.
Was it the same contractor on the second electrical bid?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a recommendation we go with SGL Utility Contractors, James D. White, for both projects submitted.
Okay. Got a motion to award bid to SGL Utility Contractors at $132,615, and the James D. White Electric Company, $91,800 and $92,271. Any discussion, questions? Okay. Entertain a motion for that. Oh, you already made a motion.
Dennis second.
You're so ahead of me. I got a second. I got a motion by Pat, a second by Dennis.
Waiting on you.
All those supporting the motion to award those bids to SGL Utility Contractor James D. White Electric, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Motion carried. Those are done.
And to end my report, I would like to report that we successfully got granted permit renewal for our landfill application. This is where we take our sludge. And so there was an internal work in the house here, and then we just got approved for administratively complete and posting a public notice in the courthouse. The last step before being granted extension or renewal on the second of our wastewater permit, which allows us to discharge treated wastewater, which is the remaining from our dewatering our sludge.
I do want to say, in the past, we've used KSA Engineering to do the permit renewals. So doing them in-house saved about $50,000. So I just wanted to commend Dominic and Robert who are working on those permits in-house.
Awesome.
Good job.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody have any questions for anything under the water operation report? Okay.
On your approval to restore the sludge on the property, did you get any squawks at all?
No, I mean, it's a very extensive project, so it took a lot of hours, but, you know, figured, you know, KSA can do it, we can do it. We succeeded. There was a lot of, well, the good part is, like I said, TCQ is there to help you. If you treat them as humans and you ask questions, they will answer, okay? And they actually do. And so, you know, was it perfect the first submission? No. It took 2 or 3, but we submitted. Now we learned, and there was no problems. You're gonna see a little extra bill for sampling, but that's about all it was.
You're saying TCQ is your friend?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Okay.
Push over.
I didn't see APA, I said TCQ.
Yeah.
I make a
Okay.
motion to accept the information.
Okay. I got a motion to accept that information. You're referring to the
Yes.
sledge? Yeah. Okay.
You have a motion on that?
Yeah,
No.
we have.
No, we
Okay.
good.
Okay, so you've already.
I'll make a motion to sit.
Okay. I grant you that sitting motion. Yeah. As usual, great work, Dominic.
Thank you, sir.
We thank you very much for your above and beyond Call of Duty.
I couldn't do
that
this
you do.
without the management and the employees. This is team effort, always
Oh, yeah.
was, always will be.
Yeah. And kudos to you, Osiris, also for outstanding work with our finances and the audit process. Okay. I think we're on item number 11, that is general manager's report.
So I emailed all the letter that I sent to Texas Water Development Board. And I don't know if y'all remember, we submitted a PIF for funding a year ago, so-ish. KSA helped us do that, and I think that was, I don't think he charged us for it, but,
Yeah, there
so
was,
anyways, he contacted us to say that we were not selected because we have no violations and we have no critical infrastructure malfunctions. So because we're well managed, the systems that are on the verge of failing that present threats to public safety are always gonna be a priority. So with my little comments, I'm hoping that, you know, we'll have more luck in this round than we did in that round.
Yeah.
So, also RVA is February 18th and 19th in Shreveport. That's coming up. If any of you wanna go, you'll let us know so we can register you. And then TWA, March 11th through 13th in Fort Worth. That one's more, expensive if we register after the deadline. The early bird deadline is February 13th. So if y'all wanna do that, if you'll let us know, we can register y'all for that.
Osiris, I've been reading a lot about the Caddo water tank from the data center, so could you explain to me who decides whether people can take water out of Caddo? Who makes that decision?
Well, I've been doing research, but they're taking it out of the Louisiana side,
Okay.
right? So Texas, Louisiana, they have totally different laws and regulations. From what I read, they don't have a water rights system, but they do issue permits to take water. So from my understanding is the people that take it do have a permit from the state of Louisiana, but it's not the same as our water rights. But they're taking it from the Louisiana side, so
And they don't pay to
No.
take it?
it's my understanding that they don't.
And I read that somebody had signed an NDA, one of the parties had signed an NDA. The Caddo Institute people were not offended by that?
I have, no. Crick, I haven't heard anything.
That whole deal's kinda different because the city of Blanchard is the one,
Right.
and they bought out a rural water supply corps in order to be able to do this deal.
But they take water out of Caddo, right?
Yeah, they have their permit or whatever they do from the state of Louisiana.
Okay.
And so to meet their capacity need, they had to purchase out this rural water supply corps to add to their pile,
Mhm.
I mean, for lack of a better analogy. But they get their permission from the state of Louisiana.
But the mayor of Blanchard
Blanchard signed an
signed an
NDA.
NDA, yes.
Right. And they're gonna be taking, just one customer is gonna be taking more water per day than all of our customers take
Yep.
Yes,
in a day.
yes.
But the water gets returned back to
Up to Caddo.
Not Caddo.
Why? I mean, it goes, but I mean, it gets
Right.
returned back to
So-
the.
So, yeah, well, whatever, yeah, because they're taking it before the overflow or spillway, you know, Caddo doesn't have a gate like Lake of the Pines. If it's full, it just overflows.
Yeah.
So they can't hold it, it keeps
And I
going.
guess they're not worried about it being so shallow in Caddo,
Well,
if they're releasing that much water.
well, there's a lot of talk online, as it always is, you know, in those cases, and there's some, you know, it kind of looks like something happening here a year ago, in a way, but you definitely have a different players complaining, so it's a little different story. City of Blanchard has their own issues, just the most recent one literally happened within the last 48 hours. One of their customers is Oil City, and somebody from Oil City is going to make some sort of moratorium request for stopping this project. Well, Oil City takes water from Blanchard, and just by the coincidence, the pipe broke and Blanchard shut down 100% of water going to. So Oil City right now is bringing water in the water trucks.
And more important.
Yes.
Well, what would keep them from just putting a pipe in there and just pumping water dry, pumping Caddo dry?
Nothing.
Nothing, other than the fact that they can't take more than what the state of Louisiana's granted them.
Right. But,
But
They're
even
not
if
taking cattle water, they're taking our water.
yeah,
That's our water that they're taking.
I
it's,
understand.
think about
You
it,
remember
We're
they
not
were,
getting a pig
people
involved.
were afraid that North Texas was gonna put in a pipe and drain the lake dry.
think about it this way. Groundwater in Texas is it's very little regulation. That is, and the surface water is regulated massively for state of Texas. In Louisiana, it's the other way around. They have very strict regulation on the groundwater, and the surface water, since they get so much,
Well, and I understand why I made that question, because I understood why North Texas would not be able to do that in our lake. You can't just take whatever amount of water you want. And this
Yeah.
data center will not be able to do it either. But the argument was that they'll just put a pipe in there and drain as much as they want to out.
well, obviously you cannot mark the water molecules where they're coming from.
But you have a
But
pump there, I
you
suppose.
can make a case
Yeah.
that the water pump out of, for Blanchard
Sure.
comes from Lake of the Pines.
Very much.
Mm,
What's the average depth of Lake Cattle?
6, 7 feet.
Yeah.
I was thinking at one time,
Yeah.
that
Don't have a lot of stores.
it's not that much, because at one point I thought that average NBA team can walk through Caddo without gathering their nose.
Oh, yeah, it's shallow, yeah.
Susan, I hear you say that Caddo is not charging anybody anything for any water that they got.
From the research that I can find, it's just like us, we own our water right, we don't pay anything for our water right, we did it all, so we don't pay like an annual fee to use water, we have the water right, so it's kind of the same, but theirs is a permit.
I guess the data center would pay Blanchard.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll pay, Blanchard's gonna get paid
Yes.
for this water.
Who, what
Yeah, you
day?
just like you bet your house paying the city of Hugh Springs.
Right.
It works the same way.
Right.
Although I think there is a group that is protesting this whole thing.
Oh, yeah, there's several, yes.
You know,
What-
so,
what
So another way of
agency-
looking at this, though, is we give Caddo 9 to 12,000 acre feet of water free of charge every year for environmental flow and bed and bank protection and environmental flow. We give them 9 to 12,000 acre feet every year. And it ends up being sold to Blanchard.
And that doesn't include flood water, that's just,
Is that not, my statement incorrect?
That's like double
I
dipping
don't know if it
almost.
gets
isn't it?
sold to Blanchard, I don't know if Blanchard has to
Blanchard
pay.
buys it from the, more or less, they buy it from
Comes
the
out of
state of
Caddo.
Louisiana.
We sent it to Caddo, and Caddo turned around and sold it.
Well, they-
Yeah, we give the state of Louisiana X amount of water every year, and they turn around and sell it.
What agency in Louisiana grants those permits for?
they have a
Just like
leak,
our TCEQ.
yeah, they have it.
It's a state, a
I've
state
been in
agency.
Louisiana for 31 years. I was raised there.
But, yeah,
Benjamin Franklin is the one that makes
See, if you ask your question on Texas side, who is managing water in Lake of the Pines? The answer is above 228.5, it's Corps of Engineering. Below 228.5, it's Northeast Texas Municipal Water District. Case closed, no, nothing else is happening. You got very clear answer. You ask the answer to even some institute people working on Caddo side, they have no clue. But they know that you can't sell it, but they don't know what's happening on the Louisiana side. They have absolutely no clue. They don't know who takes it, when, how it's metered, nothing. But they know that you cannot do anything with water you have full right to do.
So they really don't need our 9 to 12,000
Absolutely
feet
not
of
every.
water that we give them every year, that they screamed and hollered for how important it was for environmental flow and then bank protection. They don't really need it.
Looking
And
at
they're
the
turning,
number.
wait a minute, and they're turning around and it's being sold for cash.
But we don't have a mechanism for not sending water to Caddo, right?
Correct.
Yeah, we
I
can
mean,
shut-
not-
Well, at minimum, we have to send a 5
Yeah,
cubic
all we
feet
have
per
to
second.
send 5 CMS.
That is this
But
is,
the last few years we've been in
In flood
flood
stage.
stage, so.
yeah, we don't our pool does not release anything to Caddo unless we are at 228.5 or below.
So that 228.5 or below is what Jack is referring to, that we send to help them with environmental.
But look at it from the CFS standpoint, we're required to send 5, we're sending how much?
Today, 347,
So we're
or
spending-
268,
337,000
correct,
CFS that
correct.
we get nothing for.
Nothing, no, well, yeah, we get scrutiny.
And with the imposition
Lawsuits.
of the
Yeah, scrutiny and
law,
lawsuits.
with the imposition of the new law, it protects that flow to Blanchard from ever going any other place outside of our.
But if you wanna hear, you're right, but if you wanna hear something comical is if you type in any AI, who is administrating water in Caddo, it pops Northeast Texas Municipal Water District.
Yes. And so, and if you
You can
follow
trust
the,
Google.
and if you follow the link, it goes to Texas Water Development Board website,
Yes.
so they have it wrong on their website.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you
bad.
know that?
Oh, yeah, I don't trust Google anymore. I've trust issues with everything now.
So literally, we own Caddo.
Do we have a running total of how much money we spent on the lawsuit, speaking of lawsuit?
I think we're at about $135,000.
That's not counting, that's just legal fees.
Yeah.
There is a substantial cost in office work and hours of the district employees.
That's not counting
That's-
Yes.
our part of it.
Strictly attorney fees.
Yes.
Yeah.
And trust me, that is
A lot.
a lot of time which could be used for so many more beneficial things.
But if you saw the bill this month,
Yeah.
they are charging for work you're not doing. Because I'm requesting that invoice and they know I'm looking at it closely.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else, you guys? Okay, cool. All right, we're looking at February 23rd, 26th for the next meeting. That'd be a regular February meeting. That's the fourth Monday also.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion by Robin,
Second.
second by Jack to approve Monday, February 23rd for the next Net Mud Board meeting. All those supporting that motion say aye. Those opposed, no. Ayes have it, motion carried. February
Motion for
23rd.
adjournment.
Got a motion to adjourn. Got a second. Jack, motion. George, second to adjourn. All those supporting that motion signify by leaving. Have a nice day.